All right, guys, we are into our next episode of our talk series. Today we have a new guest, Tanveer Sunesara, who works as a data analyst for NerdWallet. Hey, Tanveer, welcome to the show. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Nazim, thanks for having me on the show. So currently, I'm working as a product analyst at a company called NerdWallet. It's a fintech company. I did my engineering from back India, from Rajiv Gandhi,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't really like. Over the time, I realized that I'm not really interested into electrical engineering. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
wanted to like do my master into something which I had like interest in, but I
Mm-hmm.
still didn't really knew like what to do it. So I just came here, took admission into like a master's into MIS, which is like Management Information Systems,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't like still sure like what to do until like I went in for my master's program. I think this is like a
Mm-hmm.
bit different than what others people when they come here for masters they have like a dedicated stream that they really want to go into, but mine was a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I was still kind of like exploring and then figuring it out like how I want to pursue my career. So
And where did you do your master's from?
so I did my master's from University of Texas in Dallas, and
Oh,
the
nice.
way the program was set up was they had like sub streams within the mainstream. So you have a major in
Mm-hmm.
MIS, but then you can select which domain you want to go to. So over there,
I see.
I got like interested into like analytics and how data improves the business decision making for a company and how they can uh, leverage data to solve like big business decision and problems. So I think I took
I
got
see.
my interest from there, and then uh, I took like courses around data analytics. There are a couple of like uh, query language that you need to know. For example, you need to have like a strong hold on SQL. So I over the period of time I also learned SQL, some Python as well,
I see.
and then I got my first job into at EA Sports. Everyone knows like EA Sports because I grew up like playing FIFA.
Right, right,
So it was pretty
right.
interesting to work there. It's a very different environment, very casual, very cool.
Yeah. Any particular gaming product you were involved, and you know how did you use the data? Because I think a lot of people are into games and they would really like to know.
So I worked on NBA, which is like basketball, and then Madden, which is American football. So
Mm-hmm.
NBA, I had like a little idea about American football, like was a totally new concept for me. I mean,
Right.
I did watch it like first couple of years here, but never really like took
Mm-hmm.
interest to like understand the game fully. The way data operates in the gaming world is basically we track everything that a user does on a console or on a PC. So every time you
Mm-hmm.
make like a slightest of move in a game, we basically record that and log the data in. If you purchase anything, we would record it. If you like scroll on the screen, we would record it. So we basically record all your actions. And what we do is like
Okay.
the engineers basically streamline those data and then give it to us, and then we try to see like what kind of improvements we want to make in the game for next year, and
Okay.
what kind of features users are using the most, and based off that we'll make a
I
decision
see.
if we want to market this product or if you want to like monetize this product and make money out of it. So those are like some of the key business decisions that we make.
Oh, nice. That sounds interesting. And then from EA, you moved on to Walmart Labs, if I'm not wrong, and
Yeah,
then
from EA I
to
think
NerdWallet.
I moved to Walmart e-commerce in Bay Area. So
Yeah.
I think
Right.
like my reason behind that move was not I wanted to work at Walmart. I think it was more that I wanted to move to Bay Area, and I think Walmart had an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity in California, so I basically took that opportunity, came there, worked there for like a couple of years. It and my
Nice.
I think my focus was more around like how people purchase products online, and
Mm-hmm.
how can we improve the entire e-commerce experience for them, and how we can generate more revenue for Walmart. And I think after that I worked for another company called as MassMutual, which is like more financial company, and that's where my focus
Right.
shifted towards financial domain. And now I'm here at
Mm-hmm.
Third Wallet. Basically, they are a personal finance website, and then my role is like very similar, where we try to like improve user experience and improve the overall product, and try to acquire more user, and then make sure that we continuously make more money for them.
Going back a bit, like tell me, why did you decide to move from engineering to data science?
So I think it was a very easy decision to move, because I think when I started engineering, and I think after a year or so, I kind of realized that this is not something I want to do. But as you know, like in
Mm.
India, you do not really have an option, but you really need to like become an engineer if you have started something. So I mean that was my focus was, and I think the focus was also like to always come to USA, and I think that's something
Right. Right.
the way I think we are we are brought up within the community. So I think there
Right.
always in my mind that once I finish this, I need to pursue something in USA, which would be like more which would be a stream that I want to make a career in. Uh, so the decision to make a switch was really easy, but I think the hard decision was like where I want to go for my next as my next
Hmm.
career move.
I see.
So I think I had a
I
year
see.
break
I
in
see. Interesting.
when I came to USA. I
Hmm.
have like a year break where I kind of got to like read a lot on internet on where should I be pursuing next. And I was also kind of inclined to not do more technical stuff. So I was like trying to search for something which was not technical, but yet it has like a market demand. And I think that's
Hmm.
where I kind of clicked into like
Right.
analytics and this whole information system world.
Personally, I feel you are a lot. Yeah, you are much better with number crunching and analysis. So yeah, that was a great move, I think, for your career. I feel. Anyway, so going to the next question. So I think I know you are in the middle of pursuing your second master's in project management, and you're almost done with it. So tell me, what were some of the key learnings from project management coursework?
I think right after out of college, I would say project. You won't know like what management is until you have like some kind of industry experience. So I think once I worked for a couple of
Right.
years in industry, I realized that project management is something a skills that is like really necessary for you to basically be successful at a higher role. So for example, if you become manager or
Right.
senior manager, that's something you need to have a project management skill, because at that point it's not just the technical skills that would take you far, but you also need to like
Right.
know how to manage people, how to manage project. And I kind of realized that very early on,
Yeah.
like when I was working, and I thought that this would be like an interesting area to
Hmm.
pursue and make sure that you have enough skill set when you grow and move up the ladder.
I think it's best of both the worlds. You need to be strong in technical and non-technical. So I think that was also another great move for your career. I hope it helps you. Can you talk more specific about your recent project at NerdWallet?
I can give you an example of what we are trying to do. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, the way we approach any particular problem is like we look into the current data that we have. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, we look into data and we'll find that a particular feature on the website is people are only engaging like 50% of the time. And
Right.
we as a company, we would think that if people would engage here like 70% of the time, then we will basically generate X amount of dollars from it. So what we will try to do
Right.
is that we will try to come up with a design on how to improve that particular feature, and then we would do
Hmm.
something called as A/B test. So the way A/B
I
test
see.
works is like you would have a control population, which is basically your current existing website, and then you would have
Mm-hmm.
a variant which would be like slightly different from the current website, and we would
Mm-hmm.
split the traffic into 50-50. So we'll send the 50% of the traffic to control, and then we'll send the other 50% of the
Hmm.
traffic to the variant screen, and we'll see like within the same period of the time, if everything is kept same and only one factor has
Hmm.
changed, do you see an improvement in the performance? And if we
I
see an
see.
improvement in
I
the performance, we would basically make that as a production version, and then we would remove the old version. And if we do not see any improvement, then we would basically try and analyze like what went wrong, what could have been done better. It's more like a trial and error thing. You like iterate a lot. You would basically run like 10 A/B tests in 3 months to figure
Hmm.
out that nothing was working, or you would just run like one test and
Right.
see that yes, this is the best solution we could have. So it just depends. It's like a lot of back
Right.
and forth, but over a period of time, when you do it like for 60 times, 100 times, you would come up with a product which is like much better than what you originally anticipated.
For our viewers watching the show, I think I've been reading a book called Lean Startup. So I would also recommend for, like, for example, what Tanvi mentioned. So that book has a lot of such examples. So I would definitely recommend the book is called Lean Startup. So for those interested, please check it out. Anyways, Tanvi, so going on to the next question, what is the most important data analysis tool you feel, and where should one start from? Let's say I'm a newbie, I'm just starting into data analysis. What is the software that I should learn or I should know about?
So I think data analysis has changed a lot since I graduated from college,
Mhm.
and I think one skills that will always be relevant for at least data analyst or product analyst or business analyst.
Mhm.
You can like pretty much take any analysis role is SQL, or how people call it as SQL. So it's basically a
Mhm.
structured query language on how you pull the data from the backend database. Because you work with a lot of data, you have to you need to know the language to pull the data from the backend database. So that is like one language I would 100% recommend to everyone who is starting off. And I think the better you are on SQL, the better your chances are to crack the interview and get the interview. And I think the other supporting language is it's always good to know like Python. I think Python is something like how it's useful like almost in every field. Like it's also useful for scripting that you do for electrical engineering, or even for like normal engineering. It's pretty much useful everywhere. And if you really want to like take a advanced step, you can also learn like R, which is like statistical language, in where you can go like a lot of like not machine learning kind of models, but you can at least start with like basic models on R and stuff. So I would say these three are like the main language you need to know.
To all the viewers again, I think if you are planning to take courses, maybe check out Coursera. They have like a lot of Python specific like good courses, so something to check out for. What's the difference between working for a startup versus working for a huge successful or a big public company?
I can give you an example like between maybe Walmart and NerdWallet and how things are different or how things are similar. So I think
That would be helpful.
Walmart, you are basically one of the employees amongst 60,000 or 70,000 employees. So there are like a lot of projects that are going on, and you're pretty much focused on the stuff that you do. When you start working at a big corporate, you won't really get an opportunity to lead the work, or you won't really get an opportunity to be responsible. I think it would be more around someone is delegating you the work and you are like finishing the work. I mean, you really need to be amongst like 60,000 people. At a small startup or at a company where there are only like 300 or 400 employees, you basically are like given a task and you basically make sure that you finish from start to end. You lead the project, you set up the meetings with everyone. You basically open up.
So basically, you are saying it gives more width than depth. So is that a fair statement or?
I would say yes. I mean, I think startup is like it's very fast moving. So I think you need to make decision very fast. So at times, like you need to be more flexible. You need to go on your gut feeling sometimes, and then you need to take a decision and then iterate faster and faster. So there is something at our company where we say, fail but fail fast, so that you can learn. So the more quicker and faster you fail, the more you will learn and then improve the product. So you become more responsibility. There's more responsibility there, more accountability, I would say.
Tips, advice you have for specifically for resume building?
So I would say be confident in what you write. I think you can, as long as you can speak about it, you can write it on your resume. If you're not confident in talking about it, don't write it on your resume. Because if you take something on your resume and if you cannot speak or back that up in the interviews, then there is no point writing it.
All right. So going to your favorite domain, I know you love stock investing. So tell us like some big data companies or in general any other company that you are looking to bet heavy on.
I mean, I don't usually provide recommendation, but I would say like I think I recommended you like 2 years back that invest in Tesla. I think if you would have heard my advice then it would be a different world for you.
Yeah.
But
I regret he smokes too, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I really like the way I look at stocks is more like owning a business. So I really like sometimes go into like read the financial statements and see like if it's worth investing it, like what kind of market they have in the future. So I always try to look like 5 years in the future. Would this company be like the next? If it's a $1 billion company, would this be like a $10 billion company in next 5 to 10 years? So if I look at from that point of view, and then if it like worth investing it, then I basically invest in it. So right now I'm looking at a content management company where they have like a content management through cloud, and they provide like all the contents through cloud call as Fastly. It's FASTLY. So I'm like starting to invest in that, but I won't recommend anyone investing there. But that's something I feel would be like a good investment for next 5
At least maybe you are researching in that direction for now.
Yeah, I've kind of started the position now, but I haven't taken like the full position yet.
Now, next like is a more like a fun question. So let's say after the interview you win a 10 million lottery, what would you do?
So 5 million, I'll definitely like invest into a more robust fund where like my money would just grow annually at an interest rate, like probably like S&P or Nasdaq, something where the money would like keep growing. The other 5 million I would probably like bet on like not try to pay off like high interest mortgages and stuff. And if there is money left, then I would probably look for like investment in startups or invest in stock market, where like for something like Tesla, where I can like bet my money on. I know like those companies would be like the companies for future.
So if you can go back in time, what would be the one thing that you want to change about yourself?
Uh, so I think I would basically like there are two things to look at here. So one is that as I said, like the investment world is very interesting. So I would probably like pursue a career in investment. Uh, and the second thing would be like definitely start investing early. Maybe if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
start investing at like 18 years old or 20 years old, I think it's a different world when you reach 30 years. You
yeah,
have like 10 years to like grow your money, spend less, invest more. That would be my advice to young
yeah.
generation.
Book you love or you want to give someone?
Really, like I read like a lot of business books. So there's a book called Shoe Dog. It's basically a biography of uh, Nike founder. He wrote a book about his
Oh,
experience and how he came up building Nike and what kind of challenges he faced. So it's a story about himself. So it's a really good book. You should definitely read that one. And there's another book that I'm right now reading. It's a very big book, but this is the book.
what's that one? Oh, options as a strategic investment. Oh, nice. Looks good. I think I should read this one.
Yeah, it's really big book, but I think you get to learn a lot of it.
One long-term and short-term investment.
I would say Apple, Tesla, uh, short a short-term investment. I mean, it just depends like what kind of short-term investment you are looking at. But I think short-term, I would say because the stock market is so down, I would say airlines and any travel company for like another. They would definitely make a comeback in like a year or 2 years. So I think.
2 year, yeah, a year or so. Show movie you absolutely love.
I'm not actually a show person. I like the last show I watched was like Prison Break. I haven't really watched any show after that.
Oh,
You already know that I don't really
but
watch.
that was long back, right? I think that's the one you recommended me. That was long back, I feel.
Yeah, I think I started to watch like Erosier in USA, but then I kind of gave up on it because it's too time consuming. And once I go into it, then I really like don't do any other stuff. So I tried
Cannot
to like
stop.
do
Yeah, it's
something.
addictive. I agree.
Yeah.
Technology you love.
I think right now it's like phone. I would say phone is something like you can pretty much do everything on your phone. So I
Yeah.
like phone. Yeah.
Yeah. And last question is one person you want to quarantine with or you want to spend time with.
It would be very
Yeah, to pick
interesting
up his brain
to
basically.
spend the time with Elon Musk. Uh,
Oh,
he,
nice.
he is quite a character. So I'm pretty sure like I won't understand half the things he would say, but yeah, it would be very interesting.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanveer. It was pleasure having you. And guys, as usual, we'll be linking Tanveer's LinkedIn profile in our show notes or in our comment section. Please feel free to reach out to him. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thanks.
So
Thanks,
much.
Tanveer.
Yeah.